Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in a video. With this remember you guys a Gladiator Beasts deck profile. So you guys have been waiting for this and I finally got the time to actually change the deck from the previous build and show you our current build. And this is for Post Supreme Darkness. If you want to see the combos, it's going to be on the top right corner. But we're going to get started here with 2 copies of Andal. So Andal is still a great Gladiator Beast monster. We have less of a reliance on it as we did before. Before you would just utilize whatever you could to get this out in order to go into a quick test panther, just because it was easy to kind of cycle through this card. We still kind of do that using our Primite Roar, but it's not as important, so we only run 2 copies of it. And then we have 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Augustus. This card is very important because it is a level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monster, so it's great if we want to go into our Tamer editor. Pretty essential for that. Not only that, but Gladiator Beast Augustus, when it's special summoned using the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you're able to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your hand in defense position. It's just a really great extender that also helps you go into your Tamer editor, which is where we mainly want to go into. Also, I want you guys to know that Gladiator Beast monsters is a pretty ancient archetype, so a lot of the old Gladiator Beast monsters here actually have soft once per turns, so we're able to utilize that and pretty much abuse it if you see it on the combos. 1 copy of Darius is great because you can get a Gladiator Beast monster, get it out from the grave onto the board. This is great for link summoning. Then we have 1 copy of Equeste. The Equeste is very important, at least having that 1 copy, just so that we could recycle our Gladiator Beast comeback and then being able to special summon out more fusion monsters by getting Tamer editor. Again, a lot of soft once per turns, so we want to use the Equeste here to utilize that. 1 copy of Bestiari isn't as powerful as it used to be, but it's still great because we do want to go into our Gyzarus as it's able to pop 2 cards on the board, so we do want to have the 1 copy. Then we have 2 copies of Tamer. This is the new Gladiator Beast monster. If you control a Gladiator Beast monster that was special summon from the deck or extra deck, you can summon this card from your hand, and then you can tribute this card and shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face up on the field in order to special summon up to 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck, and this is treated as a Gladiator Beast monster effect. So you can see this is a very powerful effect. It's basically getting you 2 Gladiator Beast triggers out. That's very solid, as not only will you be able to get those effects out, but you can choose which Gladiator Beast you want to go into, making it easier to go into a Tamer editor. You're going to see in the combos video that you're actually able to utilize this. Then we have 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Attorix. So we used to run 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Attorix, but now because of our Magister here, it's pretty essential to have it at 3, just because you're able to pitch something, do some level modulation, and it makes it very easy to go into Tamer editor once you have Magister. So you really want to see that in the combos video, just so that you're able to see how you're able to utilize it and why you want to run the 3 copies. Then we have 3 copies of Mulcharmy Fuwalos. This is just great, just so we can punish our opponents. Let Baby Max see here, as you're able to just draw a bunch of cards if your opponent is special summoning from the deck and their extra deck. So basically just a hand trap of choice. And then we have 3 copies of the Gladiator Beast Magister. This is probably the best new Gladiator Beast monster we got, as you can reveal this card and 1 other Gladiator Beast monster in your hand and special summon both. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can add 1 Gladiator spell trap from your deck to your hand. So 2 important things to note here. It's a Gladiator Beast monster, so it's able to special summon out another Gladiator Beast, trigger its effect. Amazing. Not only that, it doesn't say anything about his effect not triggering, not being able to trigger his own effect. So you can just special summon himself, and then from there search out a spell or trap. Just an amazing card that provides so much value for the deck. 3 copies of Ash Blossom because it's Ash Blossom. 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Comeback. You want to being able to monster reborn these monsters. They also can't be destroyed by battle. Keep that in mind. Sometimes that's relevant. You can beat into one of your opponent's monsters and then switch into whatever you may need in the deck. Not only that, keep note that you can only special summon a Gladiator Beast monster for your hand or grave with a different type from the monsters you control. So make sure to keep note of that, because obviously Tamer editor is our usual target for this. It's a Beast Warrior, and that's why usually you don't want to go into Heraklinos in the beginning, because then you can't get it out using comeback. So you definitely want to stick to everything else that is not Beast Warrior until the very end, and then get out your Heraklinos. Then we have 2 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. You can go second, and if your opponent is playing during your turn, you can punish that. 3 copies of Gladiator Proving Ground, Searcher. Amazing, as not only that, but you're able to search out Magister here, as it's a level 4 Lord Gladiator Beast monster, so pretty insane. 1 copy of Caught by the Grave because hand traps suck for this deck, but it's okay, we'll find ways to deal with it. Primite Roar, I explained this. You want to go into the search out the Andal. 2 copies of Gladiator Rejection. It makes it so your Gladiator Beast monsters cannot be targeted, but not only that, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type from the monsters you control when you do special summon out a Gladiator Beast monster. And this card got a buff because now we're able to search it out using Gladiator Beast Magister, as it's able to search out any Gladiator spell or trap. Just amazing. And here we have Flavius, Arena of the Gladiator Beast. You can discard one card, add one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand, and when an opponent monster declares an attack, you can special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. And then during the end phase, if a Gladiator Beast monster was special summoned from the deck this turn, which is very easy to do, you can set one Gladiator trap from your deck to your hand. You can set one Gladiator trap from the deck. 3 very solid effects that you're able to use this as a searcher, being able to use it especially when a Gladiator Beast monster. And then not only that, but setting a Gladiator trap, it's very solid because we do have 2 great options. Then we have 3 copies of Infinite Imperm, just another hand trap of choice. 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Charge. You can target face-up cards in the field up to a number of Gladiator Beast monsters you control with different name, destroy them. So you can flood your board with a bunch of Gladiator Beast monsters, use Charge here, pop a bunch of things on the board, and of course we can use our Gladiator Arena of the Gladiator Beast to just search this out so we don't have to waste our searcher in the form of Magister, because that wouldn't be worth it. You usually just want to use this to get maybe your comeback, or maybe your rejection, depending on what you have. And then the last card that I like running here is Gladiator Beast War Chariot. It's a monster negate for Gladiator Beasts. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a patron where you can help influence the channel and influence the type of content I create while supporting me directly. But let's get started here with 2 copies of the new Gladiator Beast Claudius. So this Gladiator Beast monster is pretty insane here. It's a special summon from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards from your field and or grave into the deck / extra deck. So you're going to be able to pitch a bunch of Glad Beasts into the grave and actually use this effect, which is very nice. Obviously with Glad Beasts, your fusion materials are being sent into the deck anyways. So it is a bit of a challenge as you're able to you're going to need to really link summon into things in order to fill up your grave. You're going to be able to do that with the new Gladiator Beast Link monster. That's pretty great. And besides that, once you get Claudius here, it's going to give you 2 battle phases, which is pretty insane for Gladiator Beast. Obviously, for obvious reasons, you're going to be able to just beat over your opponent using this. And then if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate the appropriate effect depending on whose turn it is. So if it's your turn, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, which is amazing, as of course you're able to extend from there. But if it's your opponent's turn, you can special summon 1 level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So usually your opponent's going to activate something, boom, get out Domitianus, or boom, get out Heraklinos, and now there's an extra negate that you're able to stack onto the negates you already have on the board. 2 copies of Domitianus. He's still a monster negate. Again, soft once per turn, so you can have multiple copies of this and utilize it. You can also control the battles, which is also, I think, an underutilized part of this card that's very strong. 1 copy of Heraklinos, Spell Trap Negate, up to the cards that you have in your hand, so pretty insane. 2 copies of Tamer Editor to bring these guys out, and very easy to get out himself. Gyzarus, of course, being able to pop 2 cards on the board. And another thing that is kind of underutilized with this card is that at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can return it to special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. Gyzarus is one of those that you actually, after you use him, you want to get rid of him. So first, special summon him out, maybe use the Tamer Editor, and then pop 2 cards on the board, attack with Gyzarus, then get them out and get 2 other Gladiator Beast monsters. And then from there, you can go into whatever you want, maybe another Tamer Editor. Then we have 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Shuraig, the Ominous Omen. It's very easy to get out. If you summon a Beast Warrior, Wing Beast onto the board, you're going to be able to banish a card in the field, non-target, non-destructive form of removal. And then we have 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Dragosis. This requires 2 Gladiator Beast monsters to get out. If a Gladiator Beast monster you control attacks, it cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So if you get this out and go straight into your battle phase, if you already have control of the battle from there on, it's pretty difficult for your opponent to play past that. And at the end of the battle phase, this card battled, you can return it to the extra deck and special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names from your deck. So what's nice is that you can link 2 of your Glad Beasts, get this out, and then attack with it, and then get 2 more Glad Beasts on the board, just to make it a lot easier to go into your Claudius. And then we have 2 copies of the new Gladiator Beast Darius. So if this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or grave, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck instead. So an extender built into this link monster, very nice. And also Gladiator Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects during your opponent's battle phase, which isn't super relevant all the time, but as usually you're just going to use this, bring something on the board, and then extend. But that's still good to have. 1 copy of SP Little Knight in case we need to banish something on the board, and 2 copies of Test Panther. I do like that this deck has become, you still want to go into the Test Panther, but at least it's not as much of a choke point as it used to be. Before, Test Panther, if you got this out and they ashed Test Panther, that's kind of GG. That would be it. It sucked a lot. But now we actually have ways to kind of play around that, and it's very cool to see Gladiator Beasts actually get very solid support. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and consider becoming a member of my Patreon if you do want to further support the channel, and also consider watching the evil hero combos and deck profile, as those were pretty amazing as well. But I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you for watching.